Hi leaders, thanks so much for watching the Weekly Connect for January 17th and 18th. This week our Bible passage is in Acts 8:26 through 40. We're going to be teaching the kids why have hope. And the story we're going to be telling them about today is Philip and the Ethiopian. So our Bible memory verse this week goes along perfectly with our passage and our theme of why have hope. For everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through the endurance taught in the scriptures and the encouragement they provide, we might have hope. So that's from Romans 15:4. So continue to teach that to the kids. Have them learn that right along with you. That is a perfect memory verse for this Bible passage this week. So before the story, you're going to be talking to the kids a little bit about how the Bible used to be written. And it used to be written on scrolls. And people used to get the pieces of paper and they'd have scrolls. And that's how they read the Bible and all the scriptures. And so we will be making our very own scrolls. So each child will get a piece of paper with their Bible verse on it. And then they will get either little straws, the little skinny straws like this, or they will have the chubbier straws that I got for 75% off after Christmas, but didn't quite have enough for all 200 of our kids. And you'll get one of those, and then the kids will start working on the scroll. They'll also have some ribbon in your room so they can each cut off a piece of ribbon so that they can tie their scroll when they're finished. So first, starting off, you'll take your verse and just have the kids crumple it up. Make it look a little bit older. Then they can smooth it out on their table. Smooth it back out. And it already looks older. And then have them crumple it up again. And then smooth it out again. If you have a brown crayon in your room, in your crayon box, if you'd like to use that, the kids can use the brown crayon to just distress their paper a little bit more. You just simply take all the wrapper off the crayon and you rub it sideways on the paper. The paper is brown anyway. I got some brown paper, so you shouldn't really need to distress it much more. But if you have a lot of time and you want to have the kids spend a little bit more time on this opening activity, you can certainly do that as well. After their scroll looks a little bit old, feels a little bit thinner, looks old, you will take your straws and you will glue the straw to the very top. Just kind of center it in the middle and glue it to the top of on the top of their verse. So that will be one side. Then the other side, you will glue it. You can tape too if you don't have enough time to glue. If glue is going to take too long or your kids are too young and you don't want to deal with the mesh, you can tape it too. So now I have a straw on the top and on the bottom. And then you'll just take it and you'll just start rolling up your scroll. You can roll from both sides. You can roll from one side, whatever works. I'm going to go ahead and use my lap. Ooh, this will be much easier if you use a table. Your kids will have tables to use. You can just kind of roll the second piece closed as well until you get a nice, pretty scroll-like piece of paper that looks like this. Also, if you'd prefer to just use one straw, feel free to do that too if that's easier for the kids. If you just want to do one and scroll it all the way around, that is perfectly fine too. And then take their ribbon. Again, mine's really long. You won't need this long piece of ribbon. But you'll just take the ribbon and you'll just tie it around your scroll just like that to keep it closed. If you just have one straw, if you just are choosing to use one straw, it'll be a lot smaller. You'll need less ribbon as well, and you'll just tie it around in there. And then every time the kids open up their scroll that they'll take home, it will have their memory verse on it and extra help for them to learn their memory verse. So that's what we'll be doing in opening activity. Then you'll be transitioning right into your story time and just talking to the kids about how we're going to go learn now about somebody who was trying to read the Bible on a scroll, something similar to this, and was having a really hard time understanding what it was. He was having such a hard time that he was feeling very hopeless. And then you can transition right into your story time. The Connect question is, what what do you hope to be when you grow up? So we're going to just be talking a lot about hope today. And then if you're telling the story, it's written out completely for you here. Again, it's Acts 8:26 through 40. You can tell it how we have it written in the lesson, or you can act it out. You can do it however it works best for you and for your story time. Feel free to play with that. It's a really fun story. If you want the kids to act it out, you can certainly do that. If you want to wear costumes or bring in props from home, you can certainly do that as well. But we will just be talking about how amazing it was that even when this man was on the road in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert, going on his way in his chariot, he was reading the Bible and he just did not understand what it was, and he felt so very hopeless. How amazing it was that God sent Philip to him. God just sent Philip and said, go to this road, go down south, go to this road in the middle of the desert, just go. And Philip didn't even know what he was going for. He didn't even know why he would be just walking to the middle of the road. So we don't know. Maybe Philip was feeling a little hopeless too, like, I don't know, God, you're sending me in the middle of nowhere, nobody's here. And then finally he sees the chariot, and the Ethiopian on the chariot was feeling hopeless, thinking he was never going to understand God's word. He was never going to understand what he was reading. And there Philip was. God had sent Philip to explain to him all about that, and what a hope-filled day that turned out to be, as the Ethiopian decided to be baptized, and he learned about Jesus that day. And just a great story for kids to learn about hope and how God can provide for you even when you feel hopeless, even when you feel like there's no way out. He can provide for you. And it's also a great lesson on obedience, because Philip sure was obedient. And God can use us to bring hope to others if we obey and just do what he asks us to do. So there's your story. Then you'll go, of course, into talk about worship and get your offering taken care of as well. And then the blessing this day is from 1 Thessalonians 5:16 and 18. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And then we'll bless the kids by saying, may you always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. And may you always have your hope in Jesus Christ now and forever. So great blessing for you guys to end your lesson with. The kids will transition back to class. As always, there are some after story review questions. And then we have another game. So our game this week is called Explain It. So in your room, you'll have in a little pile, you'll have a whole bunch of like headphones, if you could see that, and crayons, just a whole bunch of things. There's water bottles, just a bunch of objects. There's a lollipop listed, and you can just fold those up, or you can just leave them and just put them inside your name tag container and have the kids choose a child to go first and have them come up and grab out of the bag and pick one of the objects. And so when they pick the object, then they get to, they can say anything they want. They just need to describe the object, explain what the object is, kind of like Philip was explaining what the Bible was saying to the Ethiopian. We're going to be explaining to people what our object is without letting them see the object. And then the kids can continue to guess what it could be. So they can explain however they want. They just cannot say the word. They cannot use any form of the word. So, for instance, I picked a good one. So if I picked this card and it's a shark, I would say, really big, swims in the ocean, very scary, in the movie Jaws. I don't know, kids probably don't know the movie Jaws. I just dated myself. But in the movie Jaws, something like that. And then you continue going. I guess I could say Nemo, the scary fish in Nemo. And until they pick shark, and then whoever guesses it gets to go up and pick it again. So you have several of those. And then our Bible work for next week is the Gospel Spotlight. So next week we will be concentrating on the Gospel. In your lessons, we do not have the Jeopardy game for your lesson. It just has the Gospel Spotlight. But Lori Roger has made the Jeopardy game for us. She's put some interesting twists in the game for us, so be sure to look that over. Your campus coordinator will get you that as well, and that will be next week. We'll do the gospel, and then you'll do a review of Bible Jeopardy. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you prepare this week. I hope you feel hopeful in your preparation and teaching the kids, and we are so thankful that you are here. And if you have any prayers or any needs, just go ahead and call your campus coordinator. You can even call me, and I would love to pray for you and to try and bring God's hope to you into your life and studying your lesson. So thank you so much, and have a blessed week.